Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming. My name is Bobby Shaw. Anyone, once again, this is another topic that I feel very strong about. This is something I experienced back when I was in school, all through grade school myself, and I'm actually excited to share both my experiences and my opinion on this matter. Our topic today is going to be about the use of uniforms in school. Now, during this discussion, we're referring to all grade school ages, everywhere from kindergarten to elementary, middle, and high school, of course. One, in my personal experience, I believe it's more cost effective for any parent anywhere in the United States. I believe it reduces bullying. I believe it reduces judgment among your peers. There is some argument that students like to be able to dress themselves to showcase their individuality, but I believe while they're in their adolescence and they're developing to be adults, that it's more important for them to showcase who they want to be one day by dressing in a more professional attire, as opposed to simply following the newest fad or copying a celebrity, the newest celebrity that may be out. I believe it's more important for them to showcase what they want to be one day, and then as they develop into their adulthood, from there on, go ahead and come into your own and showcase who you are. Before we get fully started, I'd like to showcase an example of a modern day uniform used in schools. I'd like to bring in my young niece. As you can see, she's wearing just a plain button-up top. She's wearing khaki pants and just plain black flats. Anything that any young lady can wear on any type of day. They're allowed to use coats. They're allowed to use hoodies, whatever they need to, of course, since weather conditions can vary. For a young male, of course, this would be equivalent of a tucked-in dress shirt along with a pair of khakis or black slacks would be just as suitable. Thank you, Destiny. Now let me kind of expand on the points that I spoke about earlier. First of all, cost effective. These new trends, these new fads, they tend to go at the highest rate possible. This is something new, it's something exciting, so they charge very, very high prices that not every family can afford. And as we've seen in multiple examples, the children with the newest clothing, the clothing that celebrities use, and they try to emulate them upon themselves, those children are the ones that are looked at as popular. They are also the children that usually play sports, and they're usually copying the basketball players, the NFL players, and so like. Young ladies, they'll emulate the Beyoncés of the world. Any of the stars that perform in music or any of the action shows, the reality television, is what they try to copy. Those children are looked at as more popular. That can lead to judgment among students who cannot afford such clothing. The second point I brought up to this actually is a good segue is the bullying. From the judgment, you'll come to bullying. After students have alienated children who cannot afford the luxuries of that type of clothing, you will also see them start to put them down. You'll see physical bullying, emotional bullying, even mental bullying. They also have the talent of intelligence. You'll see them say, I'm popular, I can afford these clothing, I'm smarter than you, and then further put down those who cannot afford the clothing. Something that's been, a problem in the United States for quite a long time, gang relations. Gang relations will affiliate themselves with a certain color. There are plenty of examples of children moving, relocating, coming to this new school where this gang may be apparent, and wearing the color red or the color blue or what have you can actually show significance among the gang. So a new individual introducing themselves into this environment, not knowing what these rules are, can find themselves in a lot of trouble being bullied by this gang or being threatened by this gang with physical violence because they are wearing colors that they did not know were intolerant, or you can say this gang, it showcases who this gang is. It is reminiscent of their symbolism of who they are. I believe that can truly be a problem. I've seen it be a problem. When I was in high school, it was a huge problem. I believe that wearing uniforms get you away from that, because since everyone's wearing the same thing, you cannot use any type of paraphernalia to isolate one group and have them show higher significance than everyone else. The last, of course, I think the last point that I've touched on, we've already previously touched on the cost effectiveness, we've touched on the bullying. I referenced earlier about children wanting to showcase their independence, and I want to make sure I clarify that statement. I have no problem with children showing their independence as long as it's in a way that will be conducive to who they will be as adults. I believe that dressing in a nice suit and tie or in a nice dress or a nice skirt is better for a child who develops. We've seen young men and young women not know how to dress for their first interview out of high school or out of college. They don't have any guidance. It may not come Their parents may not have been as fortunate to know how to dress them or help them in showcasing that professional image. And it's imperative in today's society. In corporate America, you have to know how to dress professionally to impress your bosses or to impress customers, to impress anyone who may come into your office building. Not only at your office building, but also away, you have to portray yourself in a certain light. So I think all four of these factors are very important. Like I said, in conclusion, we've touched on how the cost effectiveness can help families, can help working families afford these modern day uniforms. They don't have a uniform store they venture to, buy your uniforms for a very reasonable cost, and then your child wears that for the remainder of the school year. We've seen bullying and judgment come into play, where kids can feel isolated and feel alienated because they can't afford to wear the newest trends, and therefore they feel less than and can be bullied for not being able to afford this. And of course, we've talked a little bit about individuals coming into their own and showing their independence. And as long as they're showing their independence in nice ways, there should be no issue with that. And an example of that would be for a young man who dresses in school colors. You are allowed to wear whatever tie you want to showcase those colors. Cufflinks, ascots, whatever you want to, those show you in a professional light. And I believe that will also help developing individuals, so it helps them not only in the high school environment, but also for the future as well. Thank you once again for everyone for coming by. I really appreciate you all, and I hope to see you all next week again. Thank you.